Worse than, as I just mentioned, President Obama says the US has evidence that chemical weapons have been used in Syria. He also said it would be a game changer for the US, although only if it's proved the arms are being used by the government. Let's talk to our New York correspondent, Marina Portnaya, now, shall we? Marina, hi there. That's the crucial thing, a game changer if used by the government. What though if it turned out when the investigators go in, they do a bit more rooting around, that it was the rebels that were using it, if they have been used at all? What then?
Well, U.S. President Barack Obama failed to address that option. The only option that he gave was a scenario in which he said if the U.S. finds out that the Syrian government has used chemical weapons against the rebels, then Obama strongly indicated that the U.S. would consider military intervention. But he did not address what would happen if it was in fact the rebels or members of the opposition that have used chemical weapons throughout this ongoing conflict and war taking place inside Syria. Now, this U.S. intervention, this ongoing two-year civil war has, of course, drawn the attentions of the U.S. and Western allies, and the West has taken the side of the opposition and indicated that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has to go. But at this point, Barack Obama says that U.S. intelligence officials don't know who has used chemical weapons inside of Syria, how they were used or when they were used. The U.S. cannot confirm if it was in fact Damascus who's used the weapons. Now, Obama said that his administration doesn't have a chain of custody that establishes exactly what has happened in Syria. And in the meantime, Damascus and the opposition have repeatedly accused one another of using chemical weapons. On Tuesday, Syria's ambassador to the UN alleged that terrorist groups fighting alongside the rebels had used chemical material during an attack near the city of Idlib and attempted to blame that incident on the Syrian government. In the meantime, the United Nations says Damascus has so far refused to allow a team of experts inside the country to investigate the use of chemical weapons. But Syrian officials say they would like a detailed list of what UN officials would be probing before entering the country. But as going back to your initial question, the U.S. president has not indicated if the opposition in Syria would suffer any consequences if it is found out that they are the ones that used chemical weapons.
Now, Marina was talking to a number of journalists today, wasn't he? Some other sensitive issues came up, were talked about. What were they?
That's right. One of the many sensitive issues Obama addressed was the issue of closing the prison at Guantanamo Bay. He said the idea that the U.S. would still detain a group of individuals indefinitely without trial is contrary to the interests, reputations, and morals of America. But while the U.S. president has shown his strong will to close the prison, he lacks the necessary support from Congress. And that support is what would give Obama the authority and the funding to close the prison. Now, Obama's comments come, of course, as the hunger strike at Guantanamo Bay prison enters its 84th day. This is a story that RT first reported back in March and has continued to cover. We were among the first to cover it. And now, as of Monday, at least 100 detainees are believed to be starving themselves. A reported 21 are being force-fed, 5 of whom are being hospitalized. Of the 166 detainees still languishing at Gitmo, more than half have been cleared for release. One other important issue that the U.S. president addressed in his press conference was the issue of the Boston bombings and Russia's cooperation in the ongoing investigation. That is what Obama underscored, that Moscow is very much helping Washington with its ongoing probe. Now, as we've been reporting, in 2011, Moscow did warn Washington about Tamerlan Tsarnaev's possible links to extremist groups. Obama said that the Boston bombings illustrate the danger of self-radicalization of possible terrorists inside the United States, and he's instructed his counterterrorism team to figure out what can be done to prevent and or identify self-radicalization.
Marina Portnaya, correspondent in New York, thank you.